the content, or should we put a little narrative in structure? Should we put a little actions and then read the story like how have I taught you all? Girls, if you all don't respond, how will I know whether you all understood or not? Okay, so you have to put a little expression, a little drama. Okay, teaching is a part of acting. Okay, you have to act different characteristics. You have to highlight different characteristics when it comes to teaching. Okay, when you're a teacher of dance, there you can't be shy and just teach theory to children. Okay, you have to dance and show them. When it comes to art, you can't just teach theory, you have to draw and show them. So each teacher is specialized in each subject. Okay, each teacher is unified in each subject. Okay, so that's why you have a self evaluation, you have model lessons, you have demos, and then choose the appropriate teacher for the appropriate subject. The view that curriculum is not just content but an interpretation of theory of content directs attention to the multiple assumptions that possibly underlie the substance and structure of a program of study. The teacher. The teacher education curriculum that most readers know consists of courses in a variety of subject matters, the content to be taught, and in foundational disciplines that presumably contain information about basic processes involved in teaching and schooling. Example, learning motivation, social expectations and organizational and administrative arrangements, historical perspectives, and the like. Okay, like I said before, a teacher is like a special task. Okay, a special a person who molds different kinds of students into different kinds of categories. The course of study also includes methods, specifications, and procedures for conducting lessons and prescriptions about how to solve common problems teachers face in classrooms. In their highest form, methods provide novices with ways of thinking about content from the perspective of pedagogy. The assumptions underlying this curricular frame are fairly transparent. Knowing precedes doing. Action is a consequence of knowing. The highest form of knowing is propositional. These assumptions lead to an emphasis on front loading. No, important on giving prospective teachers as much as we can before they go out into the world. And many conversations about reforming teacher education often end up increasing this loading upfront, as if a teacher will never have a chance to get smart later. Okay, so as time flies, as you play with time, as like when time to come, you an experienced teacher will gain more and more knowledge. Okay, so that's why when you are teaching, you mustn't teach only for 1 or 2 years. Okay, you should continue teaching in different subjects. Okay, now when you're good, now when the management or when the higher authority sees that you're good in this subject. Okay, example, a maths teacher can also teach English. Okay, so if you're qualified in both ways, then that's where you will be evaluated and put into both those two different categories of subjects. Most of this content and these assumptions were set in place before scholars knew about narrative and its key role in sense making. What happens when those scholars take narrative knowing seriously? The key phrase here is that we as human beings live storied lives, that we story the experiences we have. Although several stories of any particular experience are possible, it is very difficult to story what we have not yet experienced. Okay. Okay. Like I said before, each lesson, if you tell as a story, like a kind of a thing, like if you express it in a story form, then it will be easier for students to understand, to grasp the idea, to grasp the content of the subject. Okay, now young or big or small, young or old, if you tell within a story type, then each student can understand the particular depth of the subject. Moreover, although experience does not uniquely determine a story, all stories are constrained by the experiences which they are forged. But experience is a troublesome, if not unruly, term in teacher education curriculum. Of course, sorry, calls for infusing field experience into teacher preparation are pervasive, and student teaching is often seen as the capstone of programs, especially by students. Yet, teacher educators are often ambivalent about experience in the preparatory curriculum and even distrust it. There are, for example, prominent members of the teacher education community who have written of the miseducative consequences of field experience. This distrust exists for several legitimate reasons, but for present purposes, it can be said that this skepticism has led to underestimation of the potency of direct experience in the stories our students create. Okay, now, like I said before, student teacher explanations. Okay, the bond between a student and a teacher is how you express yourself as a teacher. Now if you're a strict teacher, can the students express themselves? If you're a very strict, very prompt teacher, will you be able to express yourself if you have a teacher like that, if you meet a teacher like that? Okay, Razmina says no. What about Uma Darshani, is she here?
No, ma'am.
No, you won't be able to be expressive. You won't have the freedom to express your thoughts and feelings. You won't have the freedom to ask, to clarify if there are any doubts, if it's a very strict teacher. But an average teacher, not strict and not giving freedom as well. Okay, an average, a midi teacher, a neutral teacher, then will you all be able to express? Yes. Okay, you all will be able to express. All right, so being that average teacher, being that neutral teacher is much more beneficial than being this strict uh, inexpressive teacher, like this strict, the person who doesn't give freedom, the person who doesn't answer you, the person who doesn't who always ignores your questions. Okay, so it's up to you whether to be that teacher or just this neutral teacher. Authenticity seemed to carry most of the interpretive weight with respect to experience as teacher education. Extension means that scholars envision experience as a way to concretize and confirm the fundamental propositions they told about learning, motivation, development, or pedagogical practice. Extension can also mean that experience affords teaching candidates an opportunity to witness an exemplification of a practice and perhaps begin to try out that practice itself. Authenticity. What do you mean by authenticity? Does anyone know the meaning of authenticity?
No, ma'am.
Okay, being able to reveal to the point. Okay, now if you're teaching maths, can you teach a you? There are different methods in highlighting maths. Okay, you can take props, you can take live actions, you can be expressive in the whiteboard, or you can take sticks and express. You can use different methods. Okay, but authenticity means doing the thing properly, teaching the concept of a particular subject properly. What will happen if you teach a wrong subject, like a wrong method? Can you teach a wrong method? Like they play by time, they say. Will that be appropriate in the teaching education, teacher education? Can you teach wrong stuff? Girls, no. Yes, Rasmina says no. What about Mother Shani?
No, ma'am.
No, that's where your experience is very important. Your knowledge of the particular subject. Okay, uh, now I have been teaching English all throughout. Okay, so I know the particular concepts of English. Okay, what will happen if they give me um, science to teach and expect good results? Now you say they gave me science this week and next week is the exam and nothing was covered, nothing was even taught to children. Will I be able to make it up?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, because I actually, okay, though I have done science, though I have sat, like do I have faced the science examination, it will take a little time, right, for me to understand the concept of science. Okay, because I was teaching English all throughout the periods of during the past, and at once if they give me science, can I blend into that subject at once? Obviously no, it's impossible. Okay, so you have to practice that particular subject for a period of long time. Okay, maybe a year. So if I'm teaching science for a year, and then if they expect results, then that's fine. Okay, because then I have gained the knowledge of science, I have caught up with the subject. But if they give me science suddenly and tell that the exam is within 2 or 3 weeks, and then I have to put the concept of science into their minds, then can I do that?
Can't, ma'am.
Obviously can't. Okay, so this means authenticity. Okay, authenticity is being very sure of the subject you're teaching. Okay, being experienced, being qualified, having the knowledge of what you're teaching. And because you have to teach the right thing, then you have to have a lot of research, lot of promptings, okay, a lot of experience, okay, lot of knowledge. The authenticity should be there. So authenticity is very important when teaching a curriculum. These are admirable and time honored motives and ambitions for understanding the role of experience in teacher preparation. But they suggest that teacher education curricula are still anchored in an autonomous and transportable Transportable knowledge base that contains within its boundaries the core. Give me a minute, darling. The core propositions needed to teach well. Our job as teacher educators is to get this knowledge base inside the skins of our students as efficiently as possible so they can go forth from our majestic portals and be effective, inoculated, we hope, from the pernicus fluences lurking in every classroom corner, every teaching staff, and every educational policy in the land. Okay, like I said before, can you all hear me now?
Yeah,
Rasmina,
ma'am.
you can't hear me, but now could you hear me? Okay, so that's where you have to use your knowledge in teacher education. How will I do this? How can I do this? Okay, how can I output and build the children input? Okay, how can I input this into the children? All right, so that needs to be clearly understood by the teacher. Can you hear me now, Rasmina? Okay, it's raining here too, darling. What is this? This will be. This is recording now, and it will be uploaded in the group. Okay, so you can have a view on that. So here, like I said before, a teacher should be very experienced, very knowledgeable, very sure of the subject he or she is teaching. Thus, with religious zeal, we front load their education with all we know and hold dear and pray that experience in the cruel outside world will not corrupt them. A narrative perspective, however, suggests a quite different and radical proposition, namely that the knowledge base for teaching resides in the stories of experience as a teacher. As teachers, in other words, we are not like physicians applying poultices invented by others to real or imagined ailments. Rather, we are special participants in curricular events, which, as events include or exclude, nurture or neglect, educate or miseducate. This proposition effectively turns this table over by offering a fundamentally different interpretation of experience and content in learning to teach. When we adopt this frame, performance as a teacher emerges as the central organizing element in the preparatory sequence, as the mechanism that drives the story of becoming a teacher. Okay, like I said before, a teacher can break a child and a teacher can make a child. Okay, how do you break a child? I have mentioned this before. How do you break a child? Does anyone have any idea how you can break a child, break a student's confidence, break a student's courage? Okay, you can break those aspects down by scolding the child or humiliating or insulting the child. Now, a person who is a slow learner, what should you do? Can you insult that person? Can you insult that student?
No, ma'am.
No, you can't. Okay, instead, that slow learner should be should be carefully handled. Okay, should be handled separately. Okay, now if you know that that student is a slow learner, what do? Ignore that student?
No, ma'am.
No, you have to give special attention. You have to give a different kind of activities, different kind of learning approaches. Okay, different kind of teaching approaches, I mean, towards that child. okay, and raise the confidence, boost the confidence of that particular child. Okay, even if you have a hyperactive child, you should build up aspects, you should build up teaching resources, you should have teaching resources for that particular hyperactivity child. Okay, so a teacher should know how to categorize each student. Okay, okay, fine, this person is stolen, this person is a very keen worker, okay, this person is kinesthetic. Okay, so each the teacher should know what the students, how the students vary from each other. And for the vast majority, sorry, experience as a knowledge, I read that, no, but a perspective suggests that with respect to the work of teaching, propositions are apprehended, that is storied as element of experience. And for the vast majority of students, there is simply no real and rich experience of performance as a teacher that can be brought to bear on their teacher education content. So the sense they make of our preparatory activities is not and indeed cannot be rooted in teaching performance. Now our students' story, what they do in teacher education as they do all of their experiences. But without performance as a teacher, they can only fall back on the storyline they know so very well, namely the studenting narrative. They are very good, in other words, at ferreting out the tasks and managing the risks and ambiguities that naturally surround these curricular events. But as they have been telling us for a long time, this is not real. This is not being a teacher. Okay, now only the story method won't come into, uh, only the story method won't be right. You have to have practical sessions, you have to have theories, you have to make the children's like by heart. Okay, work out the exercises. Okay, there should be a particular involvement in when you introduce the subject. Performance in this slide becomes the bridge into teaching. All that comes before is anticipated with little understanding. All that comes after is part of a protracted and often astonishing effort to apprehend by storing teaching. Until performance, little can be known about how to be a teacher. The implication is at once clear. A curriculum based on front loading, however, replete with research based knowledge or practical wisdom, is doomed to fail, and much of what is heaped on will inevitably fall off. And our students will tell us they were not prepared well enough for the real world of teaching. Teacher education begins when the impact of performance as a teacher sinks in, and therefore the story of being a teacher can begin to evolve. In this light, teacher education is not something instructors do to prospect teachers, but rather something they do for themselves. Okay, now if you're being a teacher, okay, you have to practice your wisdom. Okay, you have to practice your knowledge. You have to research. Okay, you can't just teach what's on the textbook. You have to implement what's on the textbook within yourself, understand the particular lesson, and then output. Okay, output the particular gist, particular content of that particular uh, lesson, particular chapter of that particular unit. Okay, so the output, what you get, what you put within your classroom, is the input what the students take in. Okay, so if that particular student does not understand your output, then will your teaching be a success?
No, ma'am.
No, it won't be a success. Okay, so if you fail if the student fails to grasp what you have just taught, then that's where you also fail. Okay, if the student can't understand, okay, what you are telling. Now can you all understand what am I telling?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Say again, ma'am.
Can you all understand what can you all understand what I'm telling?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, so if you all understood what I am teaching you all, okay, so that makes a successful student teacher relationship. Okay, not only the
Okay.
teacher, the student also will face success during that particular lesson. Okay, so it's an input method. Okay, so when the teacher outputs the knowledge, the student has to grasp whatever and input the lesson into his or her mind. Okay, so if the output and input, if the relationship between the output and the input fails, that's where the whole teaching career fails. Okay, that particular person won't be a successful teacher if that particular student does not understand the content or the subject of the curriculum. All right, so that's where you have to have the narration part. Okay, now for kindergartens you can have puppet plays, you can have role plays, no, you can have sing song methods. All right, but can you implement those for higher education? Can you have puppets and sing song methods and all those? No, you have to have
No,
a
ma'am.
rather effective way to teach a particular curriculum. Okay, like when it comes to physics and all those, we can't do with puppets and all, right? That's where you have to use the methodology of a science lab or whatever outdoor activities. Okay, so it is up to the teacher to understand the concept of the curriculum. Is clear?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, now I have given another handout. It's the discussion part. All right, so then I will end the lesson from here. Can you all go? Can you all take printouts of the discussion part? Have you all taken printouts of this,
Can, ma'am.
of the narrative part? Did you all
Okay, ma'am.
take printouts, or is it just in PDF form in the computer and the phone? Good, Rasmina. Okay, Uma Darshani, I would appreciate if you take printouts too. Okay, because
Yeah, ma'am.
all right, okay. And then I have uploaded the discussion form of a teacher in teaching education. So go through that, and I'll see you back on Friday. Same time, 5 o'clock, 5 to 6.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now only room hours absent. No. Okay. Okay. Bye, darling. Have a pleasant
Bye.
day.